Now we're going to look at an example where one trig function can be used to find the other 5. And here we're given that secant of theta equals the square root of 29 over 5. We also know that the sine of theta has to be positive, so when we draw our triangle, we'll have to keep it above the x-axis. So remember that secant is the reciprocal of cosine, and cosine of theta with our triangle was the adjacent over hypotenuse, which is our x over r. So therefore, secant theta would be r over x. So if we were to draw a triangle, r would be the square root of 29, and x along the x-axis would be 5, and then we have this missing value y. So in order to find y, we'll simply use the Pythagorean Theorem. We know that the square root of 29 squared is equal to 5 squared plus y squared. So 29 equals 25 plus y squared. Subtract 25 from both sides. So y squared equals 4. And then when we take the square root, we're going to get y equals plus or minus 2. Since we're dealing with something above the y-axis, because sine has to be positive, we'll use the positive value 2 for our y value. So now we know x, y, and r. All we have to do now is fill in the remaining trig functions. So sine of theta is going to be our y value over r. So that's going to be 2 over r is square root of 29. So to rationalize this, we would have to make that 2 square roots of 29 over 29. Cosine of theta is x over r. So cosine would be, x is 5 over square root of 29. So therefore, we would have 5 root 29 over 29. Tangent is sine over cosine, or we'll use what we're familiar with, y over x. You could do sine over cosine and get the same value. But y over x would be 2 over 5. And then we just have to flip our fractions around to get the other 3. We already know secant. The cosecant, again, is 1 over sine, so r over y, or square root of 29 over 2. And then cotangent would simply be 1 over tangent, which is x over y, or 5 over 2. So those are our remaining trig values. Let's go look at an example. See if you can use the fact that cosecant of theta equals -3. Remember, that's got a denominator of 1 if you get stuck. Now you have to find the remaining 5 trig values.